Hello and welcome to another video. A recap, a look back, a Q&A. There's everything going on in this video. 2024 is done today. This video is going out on New Year's Day. There you go, everyone. I've made sure I get this video out for you on New Year's Day. Stick around to the end because I've got a choice of my favourite images from 2024. But as you can see, if you can just hear, there's a lot of questions from you guys out there. Thank you so much for sharing me those questions. And then quite a bit of a jangle, a jibber jabber about what's happened this year and what is coming in 2025. Right, press big button. There's no words to describe what we're seeing. The lights dancing between the Scots pines, reflections and peaks like this. It wouldn't be a great day out if I didn't fall over. Yeah. We've just seen a unicorn with light beams coming out of its arse. What's happened? I was shooting what I call Dance of the Tuning Forks. I've shot it before in similar conditions but without the light. And what's just happened over here is the equivalent to a dancing unicorn with light rays shooting out of its arse. The whole of the top of the canopy down to the floor, light beams breaking through. I've always wanted to catch that shot. I've just filmed a little bit of it, as you can see now. I don't know if the shot got it, and the composition was really rushed. I've just switched and moved a bit in case it happens again. It's trying, but there's a bank of cloud just holding it back. You just need a split second of that sun to come through, and it doesn't look like it will. So I've got 3 or 4 shots. I'll have a play with them. Like I said, it was so reactive. The light rays come, the unicorn bolted, and I went click. Right, I'll go and find that log, sit down. Sit there. Oh, well, that was delightful. We've just had a couple of pints.
And breakfast.
Full English at dinner time. Of course. That's what you do. That's what you do. Full English breakfast. Bay horse again. It's becoming a ritual. Is it when you've done something more than once, it becomes like...
Habit.
Yeah, habit.
Habit.
Yeah. Although I only wear my habits when I'm at home. Any road.
Call me a mum.
It's like Peter Gabriel's ball sack.
Yeah, you can say that.
I can say that, can't I? Right, we're in at Castlefields, but I won't go camera shot because I've got a camera that just wants to eat batteries. Dog shot there. Look at this. Hiya.
Mate,
Hiya. Oh.
How are you, pal?
Give us a smile, doggy. You're on YouTube. Hey up. Oh. Sushi.
Sushi.
Oh. Oh my goodness, I think I might have finally got me shot. I love mood anyway. Oh, way up, way. Low tide on the northeast coast. It's a bit mad. What's going on? What was I saying? Oh, get another shot. Hold on, look at that. So I've got a collection of rocks as foreground-ish. Oh, it's... I've been watching it come up and thinking it's not going to come much further. A huge mixture of tones. I'm talking too much here, so I'm going to leave you because we're getting the, you know, the plates of light now, these dapplings of... I don't even know how this is happening. I can't even see where the... I know that's the sun's over there, but we're getting light that's flashing and reflecting down through these moody clouds. It's a bit special. Sit there. I've just got to come on and say a bit. The two cameras set up because we've just done a bit of a stage scene for Adam's video where I give him a roasting, a proper good roasting. I'm looking forward to seeing it because it was hilarious. I'll just say this, flippy flappy gimbal. Look out for that.
I've only just stopped laughing.
You got to look out for that. I'll put the link down below because no doubt Adam's video will be out before mine. Right, I think we're going to get to the top. We're going to attempt it. It's eased off a bit. It's actually been quite mild. There you go. Call yourself a photographer? Think you're a photographer? You're a YouTuber. You can't even take a decent picture. Every single video you put out, there's like 2 or 3. And we're supposed to be impressed by this. It's getting worse as well with your namby-pamby gimbal. We've got one life, one earth, and you're going out in your petrol guzzling. I can't do it. Just been doing some pieces to camera with Adam that's quite exciting. I've never done anything like that before. So it's really interesting to be a part of what Adam's thinking and making that video. I'm gonna have to stop for a bit because yeah, it's a wee bit of a climb and it's still brutal. Come on. You know, one of the things that got me into photography, like really serious, was a prime lens f1.8 and 2 baby girls. Seeing the world through that lens and capturing them so innocent, those images are priceless, and for that situation creates something so magical and wonderful that it just, you really connect to it. You even get emotional yourself when you see the images. There's going to be some big edits going on tonight. I've just been looking at another composition on the path and we've got to keep going. We're going to walk to the opening of the lock, and from here we're going to have a chat, head back to the van because we do need a brewage and we do need something to eat, and then onwards to the next location, which is down the road going back into civilization. I can't speak. It's been incredible. Yesterday, well, put it this way, I can't remember if I did a diary input yesterday. I don't think I did. We went down to the coast, Melanoudrigal, and we visited Gairloch, and we saw Alison Dunlop's exhibition. I'm so glad we did. Truly inspiring. And the workshop have been saying the same. Job done, eh? Right. Sithee. The last day of the Elements workshop. Last night was crazy. Early on we all got a chance to see Aurora and photograph some Aurora. It was cloudy and it was a tough ask. The rest of the country was lighting up. Unbelievable. But I got up. That's why my face looks like that. I got up at about 1 o'clock, 10 past 1, and came out and witnessed something very special. But I didn't want to wake up all the guests. And it was raining quite heavily, but the Aurora was still firing off in all directions. There was stems and colour washing down right over my head. Unbelievable. I got a couple of shots here. Anyway, today is the last day of the Elements workshop. I'm done. I am quite shattered this morning. So brew some paracetamol and we're off to Inverness to do some street, see the galleries, take in the characters, walk round some of the back streets, photograph whatever. A very chilled day. A wind down to a week of non-stop photography that has been, we've been lucky. It's been incredible. We've been very lucky.
Side of the story. Throw me a rope here. I've drifted way too far. I see it sometimes behind those kind eyes. I see it sometimes behind those kind eyes. Wake me up when this is all over, and take my heart with both of your hands. I've been spending all my days just trying to find a way. Give me love when this is all over. It's been a long time.
I bring you Gavin Hardcastle. Press big button.
Hello.
It's a bit weird. You're
Why?
over there. You're over there. I don't know if you heard. You might not have heard it then. You're
What?
just doing your Tin Pot philosophy.
Oh, oh
You've
really?
you've actually interrupted yourself.
Sorry. I'll come back. Sorry about that.
Brilliant. How you doing?
I'm a bit hot. Can you see how shiny I
You
am?
look a bit shiny, yeah. Like Brill
Fucking hell.
cream.
We're upwards of 30 degrees and I've got no air
What?
conditioning.
What?
Yeah, well that's got to go in next
Oh,
year's budget.
see, I'm seeing you here. You've just said you're a bit warm with icebergs.
Yeah,
But
this is different. So, but if I could go back in time to where I was then, I'd be happy
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
I was freezing then. But now it's just brutal. Since we got back from Iceland, it's
yeah.
just been a heat wave, and
Wow.
A slide audio interlude.
I hope you enjoyed some of them clips and look back at the videos I've created. I'm quite surprised actually that I created so many. There was 13 in all. We're not going to count Mad Friday Fighting Friday because really that was filmed on the Friday before Christmas, but I only put it out in January. And that's how things are or have been for 2024. It's felt like I've been keeping too many plates up in the air. I've got a list here of things we can talk about, but I've also got everyone's questions. Got Brian, we've got Martin, another Brian, you know who you are, Gary, Adam, Trevor, and we've got Adam twice here. Yeah, 2 Adams and 2 Brians. Interesting. I might change my name of the channel to the Adam and Brian channel. What do you think, fellas? Anyway, we're going to start where this year has been kind of focused on. Hence why the videos have only been sporadic, if you like. YouTube is wonderful. I love making these videos, albeit they are difficult. Anyone who does YouTube understands the difficulties, but we're not going to get into that. We're going to talk about Scotland, 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 Scotland. Aye. I've just lost all the Scottish viewers. It's okay. Anyway, it's been magic. I've been back and forth since 2023. And this year was the culmination, if you like, the coming together of all that work to put out the Elements workshop. And I've written here, workshop success. But how do I talk about that? I'm not very good at talking about my successes, I have to say. It's been a struggle to balance work, everyday life, and putting these workshops together, and I've got a lot of people to thank for that. You know who you are, who supported me and helped along the way. And of course, the people who came on the workshop and made it a success. October just gone. Where we are now, I've just sold out the first week of the Elements Workshop for 2025, and I've had lots of people asking about will there be another, so I've put a second week out and that's half filled. There's only 2 places left. Don't worry, this video is not an advert, but I've got to mention it. Going into the new year, right where we are now, 2025, the second week of Elements Workshop, there are only 2 places left. So go to my website at mallydavis.co.uk or mallyphotography.co.uk and fill the form in and join me on what has been a truly fascinating adventure, just seeing it grow and seeing the success of it last year. Lots of plans for this year's workshop. We've got a dedicated van to take you to all locations from base. Unlike last year, we were all in my van, which was good, don't get me wrong, but we've got more room in this big boy. So come along and join me, and I've got to jump on because I don't want this to just be about the workshops, but they have been a significant part of this year. They really have. We talk a bit here about commerciality and the balance, but photography struggles and the improvement that's needed has been happening slowly this year. I don't know what anyone thinks who follows me. If you don't, go to my Instagram account and have a look at my photography, because all this and all these videos, it is all aimed towards creating and doing photography as much as possible. If I can, I'd do it 6 days a week. I'll have a rest on a Sunday. Collaboration has been a huge part of this year. Being with fellow photographers, Adam, First Man Photography, meeting up with Verity, meeting up with Wendy Bagnall, getting to be with other photographers, even if it's just a day out with the camera and not even filming or making a YouTube video for you guys, just to be out and about with other people. My good mate Mikey, we've not been out that much this year, but when we have, it's been fantastic. We've had some hard conditions, but we've still, it's just, what do I say? It's just being out with someone who's a good mate and being out with like-minded people. You know, you should all, at some point this year, 2025, go out with some photographers, make up with some friends in locations, and go and have create a walk, a natter, and do what we do what we love most. So I don't want to bog this down with too much talking about, what has happened. The past is in the past. There has been a lot of learning this year, especially on how to balance work life and this photography thing we do. And I want to push on and really make this year. I've written here about the balance of, focus more on combining what I love and what I can do to achieve that successfully to become full-time. Because I said last year, and it was close, but I don't want to jump into this. I'm still at a place where it's gathering momentum, thanks to everyone, thanks to you guys. And the channel has grown, and it's grown well, but I'm still so close to the 10,000. It doesn't really make any difference. I still keep creating. But to keep forward motion with the photography is because of this idea of turning what I love doing commercially into a way that can be successful. Combining what I love and to achieve success. From Patreon, the workshops across social media. Patreon, I'm so proud of that community I've built on there. In 2025, I have a lot of plans for Patreon. I've already written a couple of capsules, modules, if you like, for doing some learning and live edits once a month on there. And to fit as much in as I can, I've been doing some private, just for your eyes only, for the guys on Patreon videos when I'm out and about. And there's going to be a lot more of that because we've changed gear. I'll get into that more in a bit. I want to tell you about the camera clubs, and not because they are a part of this commerciality. I've really found that the biggest thing, the most enjoyable experience from getting out doing the camera club talks is seeing people light up, seeing people be inspired. It's a privilege to be able to stand there and talk about what I do in my photography. Because who am I at the end of it? We're all capable of showing our work. The amount of photographers who I follow out there who are just exceptional. But to be given that opportunity to talk, I grab it with both hands. It doesn't make anything commercial from it. It's enough to put a meal on the table and a tank of fuel to get me there and back. In the new year, now, 2025, I'm going to Barry Island and doing a talk for those guys there, and I'm really excited about that. I'm going to spend a couple of days as well, heading back slowly through some stomping ground I know quite well, over at the Forest of Dean and beyond. So it's kind of a double reason, really. But the main thing from this, as I've written here, is the inspiration and a privilege it is. It's very fulfilling to go and talk to people, and then after the talk, getting the questions and seeing people excited to get out with the cameras. You guys know who you are. I've already been to quite a few clubs in 2024 and built up strong relationships. Castleford Camera Club, for instance, I've been there a couple of times now. A wonderful group of people, and hopefully I'll be running some workshops just specifically for their club. And you become a part of the club, I feel. And that's the aim, is community and building connections with people. Any road, this will be long if I don't get through this list, because we've got a lot of questions from you guys. So please excuse me, just keep looking here. I feel like Trevor McDermott. Yeah, I need an auto cue. One of them for this. So I've got some notes here, because I get into a bit of this about the YouTube yips. This year has been one of those years where maintaining the mouth and the muscle and the YouTube way of talking to camera it's not natural. It's something you've got to practice and learn. And if you don't keep at it, you lose it. And the YouTube yips, as I called it, I think this was last year with Adam. I've not done it. I wanted to do a dedicated video on this. I'm not sure there's any interest in this. Let me know down below. But you do find that if you're not talking to camera, you lose it. And I've put the notes here just to keep me on track, because I really wanted to get this video out, because I've had some fantastic questions. I did this last year and feel it's a great way to address and see what I do. And is it any good? Looking back at the images, what videos I've done, and getting your reaction as well over on the channel. I think last year's was very successful. So please stick around to the end, because I've got a series of images that are my personal choices for 2024. Right, so on to your questions. Thanks to everyone that's given me a question. If you've posted one now, because we're on Sunday now, we're 2 days prior to the new year. I'm doing a bit of time warping, so apologies if I've missed any questions. Oh, I know what I haven't spoke about. I've mentioned Elements 2025, 2 places left, but here we have The Art of Seeing, a Borrowdale workshop in October this year with Wendy Bagnall. We're releasing this as emails in, I think it's going to be at the weekend, to our subscribers, to the newsletter subscribers. So if you're not already a subscriber to my newsletter and you want to be first in with a chance of getting a place on The Art of Seeing in Borrowdale in October, go to my website or Wendy Bagnall's website and sign up to the newsletter, and the email will go out to you guys first to book your place on this fabulous workshop. The collaboration element of this with myself and Wendy is very exciting, because it is about looking, it is about the minutiae, it is about getting into the details in the landscape and seeing what is so beautiful in all conditions, in any weather. And we've built this up from scratch and worked hard together to present this, to give you a workshop that I feel is of great value and in a really, really swanky hotel. It's what I think, again, is a very reasonable price. So join us on the newsletter, either on Wendy Bagnall's website or my website. All details will be down below. Sign up and be first in with a chance of joining us in Borrowdale, October this year. Right, on to the questions. So I reached out across social media, I reached out across YouTube, and for you guys to just drop me some Q&As. Someone put a message, I'll tell you it was Des. Des put a message saying, why don't you just do a look back at your images and talk about them? He made a good point. It probably would have been a lot easier. Yeah. Next year, I'm already into this far too deep. I've got a raft of questions. So thank you so much to everyone that took the time to ask me some really hard, difficult questions. And hopefully there's no overlap with last year's and I say something completely different, because there's a chance that I've changed my mind and nothing is the same as what I answered last year. There's the caveat, okay? Just in case you go back and say, you said bananas last year and this year you're saying apples. Well, it's all a matter of taste, and I think we're all allowed to change our minds, aren't we? Yeah, in this polarised world, we're not going there. Me and Gavin, we decided, that's it. No politics. No, none of that today. But we've got some damn fine questions. Opening question from Brian. Hi, Mally. What's your favourite place to photograph? All the best to yourself and the family. Thanks, Brian. Mr. Heno, cheers, fella. All your support over the years, man. Wow, thank you so much for all the comments and laughs we've had. And we've been that close to meeting each other in Liverpool a few weeks ago. Unbelievable. Favourite place is difficult. I changed my mind like I changed me, it's a difficult one. I love Borrowdale. I think I probably visit there more than any other place. A close second is local Johnny's Woods and around my local Woodland. But in terms of going to a place somewhere I'm fond of, I reckon Borrowdale's up there. Yeah. It's got everything. And I've not even touched everywhere. There's still so much within that area. Like a 4-mile radius. It's got so much. The quarries, the river, going to the edge of Derwent. I spent some time in Manistee this year, and I hadn't been there for a long time. So even places within that area, you can end up not seeing for months and years because you're just going around that area of Grange and Borrowdale. It's just fantastic. So yeah, I reckon that's one of my favourite places, but it's difficult to say because I've got quite a few places I've not returned to. And as you'll have heard in my videos, I do say a lot, oh, I'm definitely coming back here. But you're just getting the time. If I could do it 3-4 times a week, I'd be back and forth to lots of places. And I have done with Scotland. Yeah, it's took its toll though, But I'd say for now, Borrowdale's up there. The Cooling Estate. Yeah. Mind-blowing. Ooh. I can't put a favourite on. It's like picking a child, isn't it? And we've got Brinham Rocks. I need to get back there. That was just... Oh, fantastic. And I love Formby. I love the coast. And yeah... Oh, Northeast. Incredible. That's a place I'm going to be spending more time at this year around the Northeast coast. That's for sure. Thanks for your question, Brian. I hope that answered it. Well, I'm going to have to be a bit more concise, Anna, and this is going to be a long video. We've got Brian. A different Brian. It's Brian Nicholson. Thank you so much for your question. Hi, Mally. Have you had a single person that has influenced you in your photography? Ooh, that's a straight no. There's not one single person. I've probably said yes in the past and mentioned someone like Michael Kenner, but actually no. A single person to single out. I get influenced by you, everyone. I get influenced by other creators. Instagram. Spend 10 minutes on Instagram looking at photographers and wow. But then life inspiration and everything that goes with it. It's a complex question, that, but I can't say there's one single person. It's an accumulation of individual people and groups that have led me down this path. Hope that answers your question, Brian. Martin, our patron, Martin, thank you so much for your question. Do you use a preset as a starting point in editing images, or is each image edited from scratch? Right. This is also a good question because I should use presets to save time, but I don't. I've always, and always probably will, edit every image from scratch. And I do worry sometimes that makes each image different and individual. But I found by doing that, I have developed a workflow, a style that I couldn't turn into a preset because each image is so individualistic. Each image has its own merit that to just throw a preset on, I wouldn't get out of that image what I envisaged or what was happening at the time of capture. So, no, I don't use presets as a starting point, but I have occasionally created a preset and then never used it again. Because they don't fit any other images. And I don't think every image can have a wash over it. Then I may as well shoot JPEG. And part of my photography, I'm sure you've all noticed, the big part of my photography is the edit. I love to edit. I love to spend time creating something that I experience, feel, connect with. I hope that answers your question, Martin. Good question. Oh, we've done Brian. So the two Brians, thank you very much. Gary, how you doing? If you had to pick only one, this is tough. Would it be tree photography or street photography? I don't think I per se do street photography. Really, I don't know what to call it. Urban. But no one, if you call it that, no one will watch the video. So it's street photography, but just not as good as Joel Merowitz. Let's face it. Who is? No one. Right. Move on. So street or trees? Can't pick. If I was forced, like gunpoint, oh my God. Oh. And I've had time thinking about this, Gary. I can't answer it. Ugh. I love street. No, trees. Trees. It would be trees. It would have to be trees. Yes. Yes. Two reasons why. Less stressful. Although I don't mind that with street photography. That's part of the excitement. The trees are just forever changing. But so is street. See, this was the comparison I was going to talk about. How can I say that they both are very similar? But they are to me. Just trees are a lot slower. But trying to make compositions from where people are and where trees are, I find that very similar. But it's trees. It gives me so much for the soul. It gives me so much just in well-being and in photography. Let's face it, I think the majority of my images, I just turn around and look at trees of one shape, form or another. Don't forget though, I have separated accounts now. My street photography is on Instagram under Mr. Wide Open. I could have thought about that name a bit better, but I was inspired to use that name. And again, it was Adam, I think I said it in conversation, he said, you should use that for your street name, because I do shoot a lot of street at f1.8, especially a lot of it is in the dark or at night coming out of work, because this time of year, the dark nights, it's perfect to just get out straight after work, get the lights, and if it's been raining, you get the glow. And see, that's why it's hard to choose between trees and street. But the two, they align for me. But it's trees, Gary. Yes, we'll go with trees. Now, we've got, I've actually, it's his name here. It's called Adam's Photos. So Adam, I guess is your name. I think I've missed a bit of the question off here, but it's what are my goals for next year? Maybe emphasis on using money for experience versus new gear. Oh yeah, money. So paying for a trip out rather than buying new gear. Any thoughts on open source processing software? Also, very much looking forward to seeing more of your work. Thanks for all that you shared this year. It's been somewhat formative in my own compositions. Mind blowing. That is such a compliment. Again, an honour. Thank you. A privilege that anything I've done has led to any improvement or help with your photography. I guess that box ticked. That's a huge part of why I do what I do, to pass something on, even if it's just a laugh and a giggle. But answering those questions, the goals for next year is to maintain consistency. That really is possibly the biggest goal. Not the workshops, not talks, not all this stuff, but just to consistently improve and consistently put out videos. That is the trial. That's the most difficult part of this for me. I do have a schedule, I have timings, but so much happens. You all know, if you've got kids, you've got family, or you're full-time working, that finding time is very difficult. I have ways in which I try to find time, but that for me is my goal for next year, is as simple as consistency, creative consistency. Emphasis on experience versus new gear. That's a must. That's why I got the van. My ramshackled, anything goes wrong with it this year, I'll be, I don't want to get rid of it, but it's been a test having the van. But at the same time, on the flip side of that coin, it's been the most valuable piece of equipment I've had in photography. Yeah, you need a camera. That's true. But to get there and overnight and have somewhere that you can be quiet and contained within your area, and also just to be on location ready for a shoot, that's the most valuable asset, new gear and giving experiences. So it's ticking both boxes. Investing money into the van has improved my photography and also got me to go to a lot more locations. Although it doesn't look it, I've still got 12 videos from 2024 that I've not edited and put out, and they're going to slip in between. Oh God, yeah. The in-between episode will be coming probably the end of this week, next week. I'm putting out the podcasts back on YouTube and on the podcast sphere, but I'm putting them back on YouTube, as you will have seen. If you haven't, go and watch me and Gavin Hardcastle having a jangle, the podcast on YouTube. It's got to be done. I stopped doing it, and I probably shouldn't have done, because it is good to see two people having a chat, and you can just leave it on in the background. You don't have to watch us. I'll just tune in on the podcast, I guess. And that was my idea originally, was to keep it audio only. But I've got all this footage of me with guests, and I've got a big guest coming up in the new year now, 2025. Harry Borden, Fred and Harry Borden, the man that photographs the stars. He's photographed a lot of famous people and a lot of fabulous people, and he has a lot of great projects on his website as well. So go to harryborden.com and check him out before the podcast. Have a read up and go and see his photography, because he is rather special. So that's a big podcast that's coming early in January. I hope that answered your questions, Adam. Photos. Right, Trevor. Sorry, Trevor. Trevor Neath. Is it 4665? Trevor, Looking forward to the video, Malik. Do you ever go back to old photos processed in an earlier version of Lightroom or Photoshop and then bring them up to date using new features of these programs? I found it an interesting project looking at my Lightroom 6 processing of photos compared to how I would treat them today. Interesting. And only, I'd say, I wouldn't say the software has been using new ways of editing in the software, but I definitely say looking back at photos is essential and something I do a lot on my iPad and on my phone. I might have discussed this before, but I use Amazon Prime for backing up my RAW files as a cloud storage. Yes, it's Amazon. Yes, it's Prime. I don't really watch much of the Prime videos. The kids do. But the deliveries and it's pretty good value when you throw in the RAW file storage. Not for professionals, I have to add. It isn't for commercial purposes, which I'm not. When I am, I guess I'm going to have to think about moving it to a server or some other cloud storage. But for now, and I think for everyone out there, if you've already got a Prime account, using Amazon Photos is a no-brainer. And to get your RAW files on there, which is something I think not others offer and included in Prime. And what that does, I'm getting there. What that does is it throws up a reminder of images from the past once a month. And it'll show you images that I've took 5-6 years ago. And it gives you that impetus to look into your catalogue and look, oh God, I remember shooting that. And because the RAW files, they're unedited, it gives you a fresh canvas. So every month you get these images thrown at you on your device or whatever it is you use. And you think, oh God, yeah, I remember that shooting, at Bamborough Castle. I don't remember them foreground rocks and what I did there, and I think I'll re-edit or I'll edit it because I don't put the edited files on there. All the JPEGs are stored on my solid state drives. I have multiple backups on there just for JPEGs. And the JPEGs are all on iCloud as well, so I can access them anytime. So it's a great way of seeing your RAW files unedited by using that. So yeah, I do go back and re-edit, but it isn't specifically because of new software. Because on my mobile devices, I still use Snapseed and a combination of edits and other software. Sometimes I might use Lightroom and then Snapseed to just up the light or just push it through for mobile, Instagram. And yeah, that's me. I hope that answered your question, Trevor. It's a very good question and one I think people should go back and look at their older catalogue. They might be surprised. So many old pictures I thought, did I take that? It's not bad. Right, we're getting there. We're nearly at the end. And the last questions here, I think it's, let's have a look here. I don't know if you can see that actually, but I'm just scrolling up. There's been quite a bit. Adam Ferned. Now Adam is the good pal who's been filming me around Liverpool for the said bag video, stroke vlog, nighttime images in Liverpool. A delight. What a pleasure that was. And he's got 3 questions. There's always one with 3 questions. So Adam's asking a general question. First one. I have a constant battle that my work isn't good enough. At what point did you finally look at your own work and think, yeah, this is actually good? The thing is, I don't think I actually sit there and go, oh yeah, what? No, I don't ever think it's good. I always feel that it's a percentage there. It's on the way. It's never perfect. I never want it to be. What is perfection? I think we spend too much time with this residual thought, this idea, residual self-thinking of what we want and then what we get are 2 different things. And you've got to accept that what you get is what you get. that it will never ever perfectly match up to what's in your head. So in terms of confidence, it isn't a confidence thing. It's more of, I've got there. This is where it's got to, and accept it and move on. I'll gravitate to an image that I like because of the way it makes me feel, or the way visually, aesthetically it appeals to me. And then I'll go deeper into it with the edit and get to a point where I go, enough. But I never ever think, oh, that's good, I'm good, that's a great image. I'm always left wanting. And I think that's a great thing, to be left wanting to do better, to make better of your images. But to know when to stop and move on and say, right, that edit, that image is done. Next. And I go out and I shoot a lot, because the act of photography and seeing, I adore. But then I can't just throw images away. I have lots of images that I still love, that aren't perfect, that aren't within the rules of composition, that sometimes may be obscure or abstract or different to what is expected in photography. But I love them and I can't toss them away. So I'll keep them and I'll share them. And because I feel that someone might get something from them and be inspired. And if they don't, I was happy with it. I got it to a point. I've got it to a place, and I move on. And we're going to look back at the end of this monologue at some of the images that I feel from this year are personal to me, images from 2024. So stick around to the end. Don't bugger off, yeah. And then Adam's next question is for 2024. Gone. If there is one city or location that you can shoot over and over again, where would it be? So this is similar to Gary's question. The Cooling Estate in Scotland, mind-blowing. In terms of street, which is what I think, Adam, because we go out together in Liverpool. And I can't say Liverpool, although I love the place and I would shoot it again and again and again, and Manchester. I have a video that I haven't put out with my good friend Neil James from London. And it had a profound effect on me, London, and the street photography genre. Itchy. Did you like that? I had to think up that word then. Did you see it coming? Almost like genre, like pulling it out of space. It had a real effect on me and my photography. And there's a few images. I've put a couple out, but there's a few images from London that I haven't shared yet. That, yeah, I'm pleased with. And the city itself is huge in terms of what's available in terms of where you can go and shoot and what you can see, and the diversity of London and the iconography. The places are just so iconic, and you can make them your own. That's what shocked me, actually, was that they became personal along the way, the walk round, even though many photographers have shot these locations and certain compositions. There's enough scope and different angles and changing of perspective that it becomes endless. London, yeah, I'm due back. I'll be going this year, for sure. So I'd shoot London over and over again. Sorry if that's a disappointment to most people. But we're talking street, not landscape. I think landscape's a tougher ask. And question for 2025. Do you need a full-time videographer? Yes, I do. I really do. I know there's a few YouTubers out there already that hire the hand of videographers to make their videos, and they also hire editors to do the videos. I won't say any names, but I can't. That's a arms folded defensive position. I find that difficult to pass on what I filmed and expect someone to know what I was thinking, because some of these videos that I film, I reckon 80% of the footage is bonkers. And I do wonder sometimes how I put it together myself. And I think it's very important for me that I still am hands-on with the edit of the videos. But videography, yeah, you're more than welcome. See you in Liverpool next week. And we're going to round it up. That's all the questions. That's all my head dump from 2024 to 2025. What's coming in the future for 2025? London's a must. The workshops are already going and happening. 2 places left on Elements. Borrowdale with Wendy Bagnall is being launched the end of this week. There is another coming. There is a third. But that's not ready for launch yet. But it is this year. It's consistency. I will end this video on 2025 has to be consistent, especially with YouTube. And that is my Achilles heel. And on that bombshell, I hope you enjoy these images. And please support the channel by subscribing or give me a thumbs up. And don't forget the building community I have on Patreon. Come over and join me for a couple of quid, a couple of bob, a couple of dollars. I think that's it. There's only one thing left to say. Sithee!
Hold the chair, you never see till they disappear, and you fall to the ground. I'm the cold that chills the rain, will keep you dry, you never will complain. You don't need me in the sun, and I can feel you are safe, but you are fast asleep. I'm the pill that hides the pain. I pick you up and wash the hurt away, and hold it all inside. And I can feel that way building every day, but I crown. I'm the coat that shields the rain, will keep you dry, never will complain. You don't need me in the sun, and I can feel that we're building every day. But I will stay where you need me. I know my heart made my foundation shake, but I won't change till you tell me. I'm the ghost that hides away. I walk the halls to make sure you are safe.